Yes, I can record. Are you able to view my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great.
Yes, Guruji.
So now let me open what I'm going to present today. So this is the topic we are going to discuss, Bhagavad Gita 3, chapter 3, which is about the Karma Yoga. Now, along with this, I also wanted to give a recap of what we discussed in the previous class. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita chapter number 2 is primarily the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita, which is what we were discussing in the previous class. And there are these acronyms which will help us to remember. Like chapter number 1, we had this acronym called DOUBT, DOUBT, and now in the chapter number 2, we had Gita, GITA. G stands for Guru, I stands for identity, T for two dharmas, and A stands for Ananda, which is a higher taste. And we progress from that, and we discuss what is surrender. We discuss the preconditions to surrender, which was prior to prior class. And in the last class, we discussed primarily about our real identity, and then we talked about most of the things we are doing is for the body, and nothing we are doing for the soul. And our actual identity is that we are the spirit soul. We are not the body. We are just in the body for some time, and we keep changing the bodies, and that is what is called identity crisis. We don't identify ourselves, what we are, and that is why we don't do something for ourselves. We keep doing things for the body only. So it is important that we take care of the body, but along with that we also should take good care of the spirit soul. And then we spoke about idea of self with these multiple shlokas. We spoke about gross body and subtle body. Gross body gets separated at the death, which is made up of these 5 elements, which is earth, water, air, fire, and ether. And then the subtle body is made up of mind, false ego, and intelligence. And soul is Sat, Chit, and Anand. And then soul is indestructible, we discussed. Soul never dies, soul never gets killed. Characteristics of the soul, which is present in multiple shlokas in chapter number 2. And then we concluded saying that the spirit soul is eternal and indestructible, while the material nature is temporary. Because of this, one should not be bewildered by the inevitable destruction of the material body. Rather, one should remain fixed in the prescribed duties which purify and allow one to realize the eternal self. And then we spoke about what is reincarnation. That is when we take a new body, that is called reincarnation. There are 2 dharmas. Swadharma is the dharma for the body, which is temporary. Nitya dharma is eternal dharma for the spirit soul. So these are the 2 examples: duties towards the body and the designations which are related to body, like family, job, etc. And duty towards the soul, which is chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, and reading Bhagavad Gita, which is the Sanatan Dharma. So when we do this, we find eternal peace because we are doing something for us. We are doing for our real self. But when we do this, we find temporary bliss. But if it is not connected with the spiritual aspect, so it leads to a lot of stress and difficulties, because everybody is going to work for their own benefit in the long run. But we need to work for one particular focus, which is towards Krishna. Then everything, all these 4 people will become united and they will serve Krishna. Then we spoke about the story of the cage and the story of the bird. And later on we discussed higher taste. What is higher taste? And then we discussed about when we are talking about lower taste, it has got a cycle, and the cycle starts with the sense objects, and if it is not controlled, it leads to lot of multiple things which a person can do and fall into trouble. And then we talked about higher taste. We spoke about how a turtle can restrain his senses when he sees dangers. In the same way, a person who is very intelligent, he knows to move away from the place where things are not going to be suitable for the spirit soul. So they move away from there. We spoke about higher taste, and this was the summary. Now we will proceed from here. Let me quickly open the chapter number 3 for all of you. Now, before I begin chapter number 3, do you have any questions which you want to clarify? It can be anything. You can ask any doubts. You can ask anything which we are going to discuss, or you can ask any kind of confusion if it is there in your mind. All right, so taking silence as no question. So let's proceed further. So today we are going to discuss session number 3, which is chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga. Let's quickly recite our prayers. You can also read, being on mute from your side. Om Agyana Timirandasya. I will give a pause so that you can repeat on your own. Om Agyana Timirandasya. Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chakshur Unmilitam Yena. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in short, ISKCON. So let us see what is there in this chapter. The overview says tree, T-R-E-E. T stands for Tyaga, which will be presented from the shloka number 1 to 9. R stands for regulated activities, which is shloka number 10 to 16. E stands for exemplary, which is shloka number 17 to 35. And E stands for enemy, the lust. And this is what we were discussing in the previous chapter also. Lust is our biggest enemy, which devastates everything. Today we are going to discuss how we can understand where the lust resides and how we can defeat that. And this will help us to also safeguard others. If we see somebody is into this difficulty, we can help them out by preaching them Bhagavad Gita and liberating them from the lust. So let's hear this Tyaga term. So T stands for Tyaga, chapter number 1 to 9. There are two terms here. One is called real renunciation and the other one is called false renunciation. Any thoughts? What can it be? What is real renunciation and what is false renunciation? Let us understand what is renunciation in the first place. Anybody wants to give this answer? What do you mean by renunciation? We say, somebody is renounced, somebody has given up something. Give it a try.
Like if person doesn't want to do any work or in daily basis, he just wants to um, stay idle or go somewhere thinking that he is renounced
Okay.
from the family duties or any other duties.
Okay. Renouncing, yes. Leaving your prescribed duties, renouncing. Okay. Thank you, Dhanlakshmi Mataji. Any other answers anybody wants to give? Okay, no problem. So, two terms, real renunciation, false renunciation. Interesting, right? So let us see what is the term false renunciation first, chapter number 3, shloka number 3.6. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara sa uchyate. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on the sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So if somebody is saying, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to see this, but inside in the mind, they are just thinking about the sense objects, right? Somebody says, I don't want to drink. Another person says, I don't want to smoke. Like that, you can take any example, okay? But internally, they are dying to smoke, they are dying to drink. So externally, they might say, okay, I'm renounced. That is a false renunciation, right? Because the person is not renounced at all. He is just saying, he's just saying that I'm renouncing these things. But internally, when his mind is dwelling on the sense objects, then he is not at all renounced. It is as good as engaging into all those things, right? Let us proceed further. So what is called true renunciation? Chapter number 3, shloka number 9. यज्ञासार्थात् कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोको अयम कर्म बंधना तद अर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संगा समाचरः. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondages in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. So, this is very, very important to understand here. When we talk about Bhagavad Gita class, when we say, have you read Gita? So people think that reading Gita is just reciting some shlokas or doing some Sanskrit pronunciation, or as a scholar, just read something and prove that okay, shlokas, this. But the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita is to apply the principles of Bhagavad Gita in our day-to-day life. So some people can debate saying that Bhagavad Gita is very old. How can it be applicable in the current situation? Bhagavad Gita was possible for the old age people to read when they have no job. But see, Arjuna was not willing to fight. He was saying, "I want to give up everything." He wanted to renounce. He didn't want to fight. But Krishna said, "No, you have to perform your prescribed duties." And when you do not perform the prescribed duties, you become a false renouncer. Just for the namesake, you don't want to do anything, but your mind is dwelling into that. So Krishna is saying action. So when Krishna is saying action, how can somebody read Bhagavad Gita in the old age when all the action is over, right? So that way Bhagavad Gita will not be giving much benefits, right? In the old age when you have already lived your entire life, then how can you read about how to live your life, right? The life is already over. So that is why Bhagavad Gita should be taught to the child of who is more than 5 years old, so that the child can make the right decision in her life, in his life, right? Child can face the difficulties. Child can understand how to remain grounded when you get a lot of victories and success, right? How to remain how to remain attached to your roots when you are getting a lot of money in your life, when you grow as a businessman or as a professional, right? When we are experienced person working in the industry for a long time, we get a very big salary, or when we are in a business, we make a lot of money. But at that point of time, how you can remain grounded with your values, that is what is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So here it is clearly mentioned that if the work is not performed for the sacrifice of Vishnu, then it is going to cause bondage. Now you see the example of a devotee and a non-devotee. A non-devotee is a person who doesn't believe in God, is an atheist, and he just wants to do his work. Why is he working? Because he wants to make some money, he wants to earn that amount, and then he wants to enjoy with that. That is the only purpose. Doesn't have anything, any regulations to follow, nothing. So that is one side. And the other side is a person who is a devotee of Lord. He goes to office thinking that the money which I'm earning, from the same money my family will be, my family will, I have to sustain my family. I have to, buy books for my children. Why? Because the children will go to school, they study, and in future they get a job. And when they get a job, they are going to serve Krishna, serve devotees, right? Utilizing the money for the service of the Lord, utilizing their time, utilizing their education for preaching Bhagavad Gita, right? So that is the mindset of a devotee. He is going to the office earning money. He is going to office to distribute some prasadam in the office. He is going to office so that he can, when there is a debate, he can debate about Bhagavad Gita and put forward his point and preach Bhagavad Gita whenever it is possible, whenever there is opportunity. A devotee goes to office and remains very calm, composed. So by seeing such devotee, others become, very, very inspired that how this person is so calm in all the difficult situation. And when they ask, then the devotee has the chance to preach, saying that I go to ISKCON, I follow Bhagavad Gita, I chant Hare Krishna, and that is why I'm very calm and composed. I'm not worried because Krishna is my savior. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not doing any pap karma. So the devotee is very confident. He is not doing any pap kratya. He is doing the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is Yuga Dharma. He is worshipping Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in front of whom all the devatas, they bow down. They bow down to the devotee also, who is the devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that makes this devotee very, very confident, bold, and to work without any fear. And that is how this devotee becomes very successful. Correct? So that is why when we are doing our work as a sacrifice, as a dedication to Vishnu, then this work is very, very blissful. But if we are not doing that as a sacrifice for Vishnu, the same work becomes a bondage for us, and we keep taking a lot of reactions. When we serve, keeping Krishna in our center, then there is no reactions to that work. That is a very, very important thing. Whatever difficulties people face in the today's world, it is only because of the sinful activities which are conducted in the past. But if, just imagine, if there are no reactions only, which is called akarma, if there is no reactions to what we are doing, then we can complete our duties, we can do our work, we can earn, we can go to, some yatras, we can eat nicely, but still there is no reactions. Just imagine how beautiful that life is going to be. Right? So let us proceed further. Just stop me if you have any doubt anywhere. I'll come back to this example in the second part of this class. So regulated activities, chapter number 10, shloka number 10 to 16. यजसा शिष्टाशिनः सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषे भुज्यते ते त्व अघम पापा ये पच्यन्ते आत्म कारणात्. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kind of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment barely eat only sin. So see, this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita that we should offer whatever we are eating. If you do not offer, even though you're eating a vegetarian food, it is going to accumulate a lot of sins for you. Because why? Why? Because this food is not offered, right? Even there's people say no, even the vegetables have life, right? So that's a food change. We are made to eat vegetarian stuff. That is how our teeth are. That is how is our intestine. That is how is our body and our body is designed. So we don't have an option to eat anything else but to eat vegetarian stuff. But if you're not offering that, then that also is like eating only sin. And eating sins means you are accumulating a lot of sinful reactions which you're going to face in the coming life. So the easy way is that whatever you're preparing rice, you're preparing dal, you're preparing curd rice, you are preparing sabzi, you're preparing chapati, you're preparing sweets, whatever you are preparing, gulab jamun, offer it to the Lord, fruits, offer it to the Lord, and then you eat. So it becomes prasad. And when you're eating prasadam, you're getting Krishna. You're getting Krishna. Prasad means Prabhu ke sakshat darshan. Prasad. So it is like, you're getting as good as Krishna with you. So when you are chanting Hare Krishna, when you're eating prasadam, then you are always having, you're safeguarded from so many reactions. There are so many, benefits of eating prasadam. Right? When you go to Jagannath Puri, you hear a lot of pastimes of eating prasadam. So if you do not offer, then it becomes, sinful food. It is a karmic food which will give reactions of those plants which have died, reactions of any insect which is died, reactions of anything, right? So it becomes a karmic food. But when you offer it to the Lord, it becomes karma free. Now the question comes: people eat onion, garlic. How can they offer to the Lord? Right? This is the biggest confusion because onion,
Guruji,
garlic
I
is not
also have
offered.
one more question. Can I
Yes,
ask?
yes, yes.
No, because you said we have to offer this to Lord first.
Yes.
We usually cook in the morning, like before taking bath, or because when it is some festival or Ekadashi and all those things, we will offer it after taking bath. We will cook and we will offer. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens on the normal day?
So Mataji, what is your working time? Is it like you leave early in the morning?
I don't leave early, but my son goes to school, so I have cooking. I have to complete it by 7 o'clock. So
Okay, okay.
usually, like we cook first and then we take bath and prayer and everything happens.
So what you can do, Mataji, see how it works in my house, I'll tell you. So we have to get up
Uh,
early in the morning for chanting. So we get up early in the morning and then, after we wake up, we take bath and then we do the chanting. And after chanting, my wife, she chants few rounds and then she starts cooking. And then, even my kids leave home around 8 a.m. So this, we are initially when we joined, so we had this trouble. But then later on, we become used to this. So we kind of, take bath early in the morning. But in your case, what you can do is the morning part, which you have prepared without taking bath, you cannot offer that. But the
Yes.
later part of the day, like the afternoon or the evening part, whatever you're preparing. So to begin with, you can start
Hmm.
offering whatever you can.
Okay.
After taking bath, you can offer some fruits, or even if onion garlic is there in the food, then you can offer white rice. You can offer
Uh-huh.
chapati with ghee and some salt.
Okay.
So like that, some portion can be offered in the beginning, and then later
Oh,
on, as you start chanting few rounds, as you start, planning your day accordingly, how you can take bath and then prepare food, then that will be very auspicious, because
oh.
when you go to kitchen and you ignite
Hmm.
fire, so we are inviting Agni Devata. So when you
Hmm.
are inviting these demigods, so we need to be
Huh.
clean. So I
Okay.
understand the situation, but you can try. When you are chanting, automatically things will fall in place, and that is the beautiful
Okay.
part of it. So in the age
Okay.
of Kali, I know it is very difficult, and things are not streamlined. People work in the night
Right.
shift, and some people leave very early in the morning for office, for school. So we can pray and we can chant, and then you
Okay.
can start offering whatever you can. And later on,
Okay.
there will be a time when all the three meals will be offered, and you'll feel very nice. So that will fall in place, Mataji. So,
Okay. I'll
to
try
in
from
short, you can
tomorrow.
start offering whatever you can.
Definitely, Guruji. Thank you so much.
So let us proceed further. We have 10 more minutes in the meeting. So this is the normal yoga ladder, how a person makes progress. So here, if you see, in the beginning, people are sinful. They don't care, whatever it is right, whatever it is wrong, sinful. There are a lot of kind of sins, right? Speaking lie is a sin. Eating non-vegetarian food is a sin. Drinking alcohol is sin, right? So there are a lot of sins. Killing a living entity is sin. Hurting somebody, physically is sin. Hurting somebody mentally is sin, right? So these are all several kinds of sins which are there. So people are in the beginning, they are sinful, they don't care about anything. Then the second set, as they progress, so they become sinless. They say, no, no, I don't want to commit any, harm to any living entity. But I don't believe in God. They say, no, no, I don't believe in God and I don't harm anybody. So this is the second category of people, right? Then after this, the third category is karma kandis. So karma kandis are the one who are ritualistic and sinless. So they try to avoid doing any sin, right? But what they do some karma kanda, some puja they do, some sacrifice they do, something like that to please. They believe in God. So what they do some kind of puja, but they are not sinless throughout. Like some people, when there is a particular time comes, so like in North India, when Navratri comes, people stop eating non-vegetarian food. When the Savan month comes, so all the devotees of Lord Shiva, they stop eating non-vegetarian food. But as soon as that time goes, again they go to again they start eating non-vegetarian. Same thing goes with the alcohol. So primarily there are four kind of sins, very very harmful, which is mentioned in the scriptures, which can which can end the spiritual life of a person. So four kind of sins are: number one, drinking alcohol, consuming intoxication. The second one is having illicit relationship. From you're married to somebody, but you're having affair with somebody, you're thinking about someone. So this is the second very gross kind of sin. Third one is eating non-vegetarian food, right? You are eating non-vegetarian food, you're killing a living entity, so that is also a kind of gross sin. So no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And what is the fourth one? What did I speak? I spoke about
Gambling, no gambling, Prabhu.
fourth one is a gambling. You're doing a lot of gambling. My money goes to someone's money comes to me without doing any hard work. They gamble, and today they win, tomorrow they lose. So, and then later on, the entire family suffers. There are murders, a lot of things happens. So these are the four gross sins which we should avoid committing. So in the beginning, stage number 1, people are doing all kind of sins. Stage number 2, they become sinless, but they are still godless, so they don't care much. Then when you go to the third one, they are karma kandis, they are sinless for some time, and other times they do sins, but they are ritualistic people. They believe in God and they perform some kind of rituals. And then the fourth one is called karma yoga. They entire the work becomes worship. They whatever the work they are doing, they dedicate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the karma yoga only, when you proceed further, you get bhakti yoga, because when you are in the bhakti yoga, you're doing everything for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when you're following bhakti yoga, all these things are already done. You are advanced stage. Remember, that is even bigger than the karma kandis. So Lord Krishna becomes very pleased when you are doing bhakti yoga, because you have given yourself to Krishna and you're doing everything. So you are a permanent person. You are not time being temporary kind of person as karma kandis. Okay, so we have exemplary. I think this one we can discuss in the next class, because we have to, I want to spend time on this exemplary part. And then we also have some more, part, how a natural leader should be, and then how we can choose the leader carefully. If you're going to follow someone, then you must choose carefully. Don't blindly follow somebody and don't blindly believe, because in the today's market, there are so many people who are giving different kind of philosophies. So we should be very careful to choose carefully, choose what is given in the scriptures, choose from the personalities, from the bona fide sampradaya, who somebody who has a guru is a genuine person. And then some more points are there. I don't think we have time today to complete. And this is again which I want to spend a good amount of time, so that because this kills the entire spiritual life of a person. So we need to give some time as we progress in the chapter number 3. So today we are going to stop here, this part, the Karma Yoga part. And next week we will start with exemplary, which is Bhagavad Gita Shloka number 17 to 35. Now I'll take a pause here for any questions if anybody has. And I also wanted to know if you are reading Bhagavad Gita from Veda base or the hard copy which we discussed, because that is the kind of homework which we can read, like at least 2 shloka every day, or these important shlokas which are shown on the screen, which I'm also recording and I will share. So even that, if you are able to by heart with the meaning, so that will be very good, because when you are talking to somebody, it is good that you present the reference when you're talking about the point that the spirit soul cannot be destroyed. So you should know that shloka, nainam chittanti shastrani nainam dahati pavaka, like that. When you're talking about the transmigration of the soul, you should know the shloka number 2.13, which is dehnosman yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara, at least the first line. So that will give a lot of strength, potency to what you speak. Okay, so over to you, all of you now. Deepika Mataji, today you joined. Mahanyan, you joined today. How did you find the session? And I will be sharing the recording also. Please go through it and let me know if you have any doubts.
I find it, it's nice class.
Okay, thank you. So if no questions, so we can wind up for the day, and wishing you a very, very happy and blissful Krishna conscious week ahead. And go through the recording one more time. And if you have any doubts, come back to me on WhatsApp. And if possible, you can add some more people in the class, because it's just online half-an-hour session. And we are going to dive into some more nice chapters as we proceed further. And if you are able to chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, then also you will become eligible to get certificate from ISKCON, which is called Shraddhavan. So Shraddhavan is the certificate which is given to the person who is doing one round of chanting every day, and also who is who has attended the Bhagavad Gita classes. So class you are already attending, just start chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra, and you will become eligible for the Shraddhavan certificate from ISKCON.
Guruji, if you can explain that, how do we do that?
Yes. So when we are chanting, the process is very simple. There is a Panch Tattva mantra I will post in the group. So we need to chant that mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. And after that we chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So this is one time. Then next time again Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So it becomes 2 times. So like that we have a japa beat. So when we chant for 108 times, that becomes one mala. And I will project, let me quickly project the shloka on the screen so that you can take the screenshot, Mataji.
Yes, sir.
So this is the Panchatattva mantra. You can take the screenshot. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Yes, Guruji, I took it, yeah.
Again, and then this is the mantra. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when you are starting, you need to chant just this one time. You have to chant Panchatantra, and after that, you have to chant this mantra 108 times. That's it. Simple as that. It will take hardly like 7 to 8 minutes. In the beginning, it might take 10 minutes, but as you proceed, it will take only 7 to 8 minutes to chant this one round. That's it.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Yes.
So other devotees also can chant. Dhanlakshmi Mataji is already chanting. Sanatani is chanting. Mahanya Mataji, you can also start chanting. Deepika, you can also start chanting. And Mahanya Mataji, how is Kanishka?